Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here this afternoon. It's not often that you find all the right people in the right place at the right time, but that's where we're at today in higher education. Over the last several years, we've made real and meaningful progress that didn't happen by accident, and it wasn't easy. Ask any of us that was involved in it, especially those on the front line. It wasn't easy, but it happened because of the leadership inside this room. And a few years ago, actually, and Speaker Wilson and Senator Milner. Is Senator Milner here? Representative Peterson? No. Senator Milner and Brad Wilson, Speaker Brad Wilson at the time, ran a bill and restructured the Board of Higher Education. And then Governor Cox went in and appointed a board that knocked it out of the park, that's helped get us to where we're at today, that's really been focusing on asking the hard questions and focused on outcomes. So I want to thank each of you, not just for your leadership, but for your willingness to do what is right for the students. Even when that work is often difficult, uncomfortable, and sometimes unpopular. At a time when university and other states are increasingly consumed by social battles, political conflicts, Utah has made a deliberate choice to lead differently. We have chosen collaboration over confrontation. We have chosen reform over rhetoric. And we've chosen to stay focused on what truly matters, and that's delivering real opportunity to our students. We're providing something important that's meaningful reform that does not require conflict. It requires trust. It requires partnership. And it requires a shared commitment to getting results. When institutions and policymakers work together, we can be nimble, responsible, and forward-looking. Utah has long believed that the power of education is a practical pathway to opportunity, upward mobility, and long-term prosperity. It's one of the things that's helped make Utah #1 in the nation for upward mobility. And that's why today matters. Not simply because of the resolution we're here to sign, but because of what it represents. At the heart of this effort, it's a simple but powerful truth. We are all on the same team, pushing in the same direction. Whether you serve in higher education or in public office, our goal is the same, and that's to give Utah students the best possible chance to build meaningful lives and contribute to their communities. Together, we're building a future where higher education in Utah continues to lead the nation because it's focused, collaborative, and relentlessly committed to student success. So I want to thank all of you that have put us in this position today. Thank you. So the rest of the show or conference will go as Governor Cox will speak next. After Governor Cox will be President Adams. After President Adams, we got Chair Covington. And then after Chair Covington, President Benson from SUU, and then President Rushton from Dixie Technical College. And then we'll last be our Commissioner Jeff Landward, who will sum it up and also read the resolution. After that, we'll invite all of us to line up and sign the resolutions at both places. And then we'll ask all the presidents to join us out on the steps on the rotunda for a picture. And then we're not going to do a formal Q&A afterwards, but we'll stick around for questions afterwards. So with that, Governor Cox.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, Mr. President. It's great to see you, Commissioner Landward, and everybody who is here representing the board, especially grateful to our presidents of our institutions of higher learning in this state. Thank you for being here. Thank you for what you're doing for the students in our state. One of the first things that happened when the pioneer settlers came into these valleys, they decided that they needed to educate our young people, and they set up these institutions of higher learning. One of my favorite things to do as I travel the state is to learn the backstory of how those institutions came together. SUU has one of my favorite backstories. I love that, the way that the town sacrificed giving up so much of their personal security and wealth, what little they had. They knew that the only way to progress, to grow, and to help their kids be better off than they were, was to give them a formal education of higher learning. So it's been a priority for over 176 years in this place, and I'm grateful to the leaders who continue to strengthen those institutions. The Utah system of higher education has been instrumental in driving economic growth in our state that we're so proud of, producing high-yield degrees for a strong workforce, offering affordability with lower student debt than the national average, and boosting individual prosperity through higher earning and better health outcomes. I would also add, while all those things are important, and we certainly look to those, and that's one of the focuses of what we're doing here, just teaching people how to think for themselves. That matters. That matters as much as any economic gain. Our ability to debate one another, our ability to understand who we are as Americans, our ability to reason and to learn from our past mistakes is just as important as any of the economic boosts that we see here. And again, while that success has been realized and measured in lots of different metrics, success itself is never, of course, the final destination, and reform is never finished. We're always trying to improve. In order to provide a high-quality education to students that enables them to be gainfully employed, we must systemically analyze how well our institutions are creating the conditions for their success. I want to thank the Board of Higher Education. I know the speaker mentioned that. People ask me all the time, like, what are you most proud of as governor? And I'm like, have you seen the roundabout out in front of the Capitol? It's pretty great. But after that, this Board of Higher Education is really, really impressive, and the work they're doing is amazing. I'm grateful to each of them. But there are some things that they're working on in the strategic plan that they've put forward, and that is we need to prioritize, of course, student access by empowering prospective students to take full advantage of admissions opportunities, scholarships, financial aid, and opportunities to earn college credit during high school. We can do that. We need to increase timely completion of degrees, awards, and industry credentials by mitigating or removing barriers to timely completion, and to always award credit for prior learning. We don't have to make this harder than it is. Let's acknowledge the things that our kids already understand. We need to continue to analyze and maximize the financial value, the return on investment, and the value proposition of a USHE education. That's value proposition for parents and families, of course. It's a value proposition for taxpayers who play an important role in all of this, and making sure we have that balance right. And then we need to leverage higher education to fortify the state's economy, which we've understood and must continue to understand if we're going to improve the quality of life here in Utah and make sure that Utah remains the innovative leader in a global economy. We know that you leaders are committed to all of these goals, and again, to prepare students for professional success and meaningful civic life. By prioritizing civil discourse and rigorous academic inquiry, the state aims to foster a campus environment where differing viewpoints are respected and students develop the character necessary to go back and serve their communities. I feel so lucky for our system of higher learning in this state, for the changes that have been made, for the way that people are coming together. As I do travel the country and have these conversations with other university presidents, with other governors, with other academic leaders, the feedback is overwhelmingly positive. Any of them that have had any type of connection with our presidents, they're bragging about you to me, which I love because I brag a lot about you to them. And again, just the environment that we've been able to foster here. So I want to thank the legislature. I want to thank everybody who's worked so hard to make all of this come together. And I want to just say unequivocally that higher ed matters, that we support you, and I hope you feel that coming out of this legislative session. Thank you.
I do want the governor to know that I'm grateful for the roundabout, so thank you, Governor. It's great to be here with Speaker Schultz. It's really fun to see, because we are on the same page. We do so much together, and it's actually a fun thing to be so tied. It's also, as I look out, you know, people talk about Utah all the time, and we all have a passion for Utah, but it's very clear what makes Utah great, and I've talked a lot about it. We almost say it in unison. What makes Utah great is the people. It's the people, it's you. It's what is actually what makes this a great spot to live. Now, I've been known for talking about a lot of things. The governor mentioned in his speech last night, but anybody not know Utah's number one. Rich states, poor states, I can talk about U.S. News and World Report. I mean, I could go on and on and on about Utah being number one. There's no question about it. All the metrics, upward mobility. I mean, think about it. It was mentioned by the speaker. I mean, our kids, if there's things that drive you, things that excite you, your kids are going to have a better life than you are. Isn't that what we're about here? But that isn't what keeps me up at night. I mean, I think we're doing a great job in Utah. What really keeps me up at night is that we're not competing against Kentucky, we're not competing against Texas or even Florida or California. We're in a global economy. We're in a global economy. We're seeing what's going on around the world. And you see what's happening in China and other spots, and you see all the things that are happening with critical minerals and energy development. We are in a dynamic spot. When I grew up, we were in an arms race, a nuclear arms race. We're in an economic arms race right now. We need to try to solve that. In Utah, and I feel passionately about it, that America is the hope of the world. You can't go anywhere on a trade mission with the governor. You can't go anywhere else. And many of you have traveled all around the world when people don't turn and say, America is the hope of the world. They look to us for guidance. They look for us for stability. You see what's happening with all the unrest that's going on around the world. America is still the hope after 250 years. And yet, you look around the United States, you see the unrest, and yet we all know what's happening around it. We'd read the news. Utah seems to be the hope of America. We seem to be the stabilized force. And that doesn't happen by accident. And the future of my kids, the future of America, the future of Utah is in your hands. Because as I look at all the developments that happen, and maybe I'll mention a few as I run down through the list, but it happens because these individuals, these people in Utah, who are, again, the reason Utah is great, the people, they've gotten their education somewhere. K through 12, some of them started in kindergarten like I did, and all of us have, and went through the K through 12, and then went maybe to junior high school, maybe tech or to university, but they got their education somewhere. And you are the hope of the world. You are the future of what we're going to do if we're going to compete on a global scale. I'm going to mention a few things that I think Utah is doing well at, and all of you were involved in it. Missile defense, energy production, cancer research, humanitarian development and medical distribution, biotech, critical mineral production, advanced composites, space exploration. We just had the ambassador from New Zealand here. When we were there in New Zealand puts up a lot of rockets into the air, probably third, America, China, and New Zealand. They use our space dynamics lab at Utah State. Amazing. Artificial intelligence. All the things that are exciting in the world, we are doing in Utah. I want to say thank you. We are the future of the world. We're the future of America. You're doing it, and I'm just happy to be a little part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, President. It's an honor to be here with all of you. Actually, my favorite people are in this room. It's been 2.5 years since the Board of Higher Education was appointed and this new structure was formed, so thank you to the legislature and the governor. But I remember our first board meeting, and Sid Tetro, who's here with me, said, "Why are the presidents not sitting at the table with us?" And so it was the first change that we made, was to bring the presidents to the table, because if you look out into this room today, this is who helps get all of the work done. And so we're very grateful for you, for your thoughtfulness and your leadership and your collaboration. And the way you do that with our policy leaders and those within our community is really unique. And I think the not so secret to Utah is how we work together and how we find solutions to our problems. So thank you for that. Today I'm really going to talk about one of my favorite parts of the resolution, and what we've been working on over these last 2.5 years is really about how students in our campus communities come together for free inquiry and civil discourse, and really that campus culture and connection that allows our students to go out and be productive in their families and in their communities and in the business world. As you know, and you've heard all the topics mentioned today, higher education touches everything. It touches everything we do, and it is really a hub to all of those spokes, and so we have to do it well and we have to get it right. Our students and the faculty and the staff who serve and support them really are the core of our state. Students arrive on campus with unique experiences and backgrounds. They have questions and they have ambitions. And hopefully, our goal is to have them leave prepared to thrive in their careers and beyond that, to engage in their families and in their civic life. That campus experience plays a critical role in student success, and it shapes how students are learning, how they engage with ideas and others, and how they grow as individuals. Our colleges and universities must remain places where students are personally supported, where they are also asked to think critically and engage in exercises and intellectual rigor. Free inquiry and civil discourse are built into our campus life, and they're practiced every day in our classrooms, our residence halls, our student organizations, our public spaces, and the experiences they get with industry, whether that be internships or in future jobs. Our institutions are teaching students how to reason carefully, disagree respectfully, and better, Governor, and participate constructively in a very complex world. The system is committed to protecting those principles. We are committed to higher education remaining a forum where ideas are examined rigorously, evidence matters, and differing viewpoints are engaged with integrity and respect. That's just as important as the broader student experience. Students should feel connected to one another and to their institution, and they should do it with a shared sense of belonging and purpose. Our campuses play a critical role in developing character, responsibility, and a lasting commitment to service. To President's point, each of us have had an interaction with education and higher education, whether technical college or a college or university here, and it's shaped who we are today. I think every single one of you can think back to a critical moment on a campus or in a classroom where that ignited some sort of fire in you to serve or connect or do or solve a problem. The resolution we're signing here today is really reflecting our belief, and it's our collective belief, which I think is the magic here, that academic excellence and campus culture go hand in hand. I really want to thank you again, campus leaders. It has been a joy to learn from you and watch you and support you and champion you. You are the ones who are making this experience possible every day, and your faculty and your staff along with you. And thank you to our state partners, everyone in the room, the legislature, those of you up here with us, for standing with us. We appreciate the partnership and the trust and the integrity in that, in support of higher education and the enduring role we have in the future. So thank you.
Good afternoon, Governor, Speaker, President. It is an honor to be here with all of you today and speaking on behalf of our degree-granting presidents. It is both significant and symbolic that we are here together today and to reinforce a shared commitment to higher education in Utah. And most importantly, as Amanda shared, as the board chair shared, to our students that we serve. This resolution truly does begin with students. And I want you to think back with me to your time in your higher education journey. I want you to think about how you felt and think of a first-generation student walking anxiously onto campus for their first opportunity, or a working parent studying long after the kids are asleep, or a young student discovering, sometimes for the first time, that their future is full of possibility. These are the people we serve, and this is the heart of higher education in Utah. This resolution reflects our shared commitment to keeping college affordable, accessible, and focused on outcomes that matter for all of us. Preparing students not just for their first job, but for meaningful careers and lives as critical thinkers, problem solvers, better neighbors, innovators, and leaders. Horace Mann once said that education is the great equalizer of the conditions of men and women. In Utah, we know this to be true, and we believe it comes with responsibility. Responsibility to be accountable stewards of public trust, align our work with the needs of the state, and most importantly, the needs of our students. We are preparing Utah for its next chapter. That is a responsibility that we in this room proudly share. Together, we are committed to ensuring that Utah's system of higher education remains student-centric, outcome-focused, and worthy of the trust placed in us today and for many generations to come. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you. It's a privilege to be here today. I'm Jordan Rushton. I have the privilege of leading Dixie Technical College down in St. George. It's not the best technical college, but it is the warmest, especially today. I believe I speak for all the presidents, though, when I say that we're very grateful for the strong support of Governor Cox, Speaker Schultz, and President Adams, as well as this legislature. The partnership that we share allows us to focus on what matters most, and that is our students and their long-term success. As presidents, we're excited to unite around this resolution, keeping higher education affordable, accessible, and focused on impactful outcomes, preparing graduates to think critically and independently, thrive in the workforce, and strengthen their families, communities, and our state. As institutional leaders, we all share a common purpose. Whether a student's graduating with a research doctorate from one of our research institutions or a certification in a high-yield field from one of our technical colleges, the outcome's the same. Lives are changed for the better. When students succeed, Utah succeeds. Much of our institutional success, again, is thanks to the unwavering support of everyone in this room. We're proud to be here today and to sign our names next to yours on this resolution. Thank you for your trust, your partnership, and your support of Utah's 16 institutions of higher education. Thank you.
Thank you, President Rushton, and thank you, all of you, for coming today and sharing in this occasion with us. I look at this gathering, my only worry is that the significance of this will be lost. In an era of higher education that is marked by diminishing trust, questions of value, and political turmoil, assembled here today are the elected leaders of our state and leaders of our system of higher education gathered in unity, saying with one voice, higher education will remain a pillar of our state and thrive in uncertain times because we refuse to let it flounder. Unified leadership is not the absence of difference, it is the mastery of it. When leaders align around a shared purpose, individual strengths are no longer isolated talents but become force multipliers. Vision sharpens, trust deepens, momentum accelerates. In the Utah system of higher education, we are on the precipice of pioneering new ways to deliver exceptional higher education to our students and communities more effectively, while increasing access and enhancing excellence. Utah will soon be recognized for pioneering the future of public higher education. But it will only happen because of the unified leadership you see here today. It is the greatest honor of my career to be associated with talented, committed visionaries. I express my genuine gratitude to all who share in our unwavering support of higher education. It is now my pleasure to read the resolution that we are here to sign. As leaders of the state of Utah and Utah's system of higher education, we are committed to our core mission to cultivate minds, foster discovery, build a civil society, and prepare students for meaningful lives and successful careers. Our students are the heart of our mission. We will keep higher education affordable, accessible, and focused on impactful outcomes, preparing graduates to think critically and independently, thrive in the workplace, and strengthen their families, communities, and our state. As stewards of taxpayer funds, student tuition, and public trust, we will advance our unique missions with effectiveness and accountability. We are committed to aligning higher education with the best interests of students and our state. We remain dedicated to research and teaching that fosters academic excellence, explores new ideas, respects differing viewpoints, drives economic growth, and discovers solutions to our most complex problems. Higher education is the enduring forum in which ideas are subject to rigorous scrutiny, reasoned scholarly review, open debate, and critical examination in our classrooms and public spheres. Civil discourse and critical thinking are essential pillars of higher learning, and we will protect those principles without compromise. Above all, We will create a campus experience through which students grow not only academically, but also personally and civically, connected to each other and grounded in character, responsibility, and service to others. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, Commissioner Landward. One last thing. And we need, I really wish Senator Milner here was here as well, but we need to give a huge thanks to the two chairs of our appropriations, higher ed appropriations committee. They're the ones over the last 3 years that have led the change from the legislative branch in the higher education space. They have done a fantastic job finding a balance between somewhat unreasonable legislature sometimes and somewhat unreasonable higher education system sometimes. But all in their, for the right purposes, trying to head in the right direction. It's unfortunate. The legislature in the state of Utah is losing two pillars, and after this year, they're not running for re-election. But I want, if everybody can stand and give Karen Peterson and Senator Milner a round of applause and thank them. We wouldn't be here today without their leadership, so thank you. Should we sign? Governor, President, you want to kick us off?